We've been a leader in banking for more than 100 years. You'll find us here, at home, on your phone, and everywhere you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning and welcome to Daily Journal Newsbreak for Tuesday, December 5th. I'm your host, Chris Kiefer, and we're going to talk about the top news and sports stories from Northeast Mississippi. But first, let's start with your weather forecast. Today we're looking at rain. That's a 100% chance of rain with a high of 57 and a low of 35. Looking ahead at your 3-day outlook, Wednesday calls for partly cloudy skies with a high of 54 and a low of 33. Thursday, partly cloudy with a high of 50. That low is down to 28. And Friday is again partly cloudy. The high is 48 and the low is 30. Let's take a look now at today's top headlines. President Donald Trump could be visiting Jackson this weekend. Mississippi Today notes several media reports say the president will attend the opening of the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum. Governor Phil Bryant personally asked Trump to attend. Spokesman Clay Chandler said Bryant extended the invitation months ago, but has not yet received confirmation from the White House that Trump will be able to attend. Ceremonies marking the opening of the state's two new museums will begin at 10 a.m. on Saturday. The state's bicentennial is the next day. Myrlie Evers Williams, the widow of the slain civil rights veteran Medgar Evers, is slated to speak, as well as former governors William Winter and Haley Barbour. The opening of the Museum of Mississippi History and the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum is the key event marking the 200th anniversary of Mississippi becoming the 20th U.S. state. Mississippi's Higher Education Commissioner said the reason Mississippi has fewer college graduates than the rest of the nation is not because Mississippians aren't going to college. It's because they are not completing their degrees. Glenn Boyce was the keynote speaker during a Monday meeting of the Capitol Press Corps. He said the state will be unable to compete in the future if more Mississippians don't obtain some type of post-secondary degree. About 30% of Mississippians have some type of degree. That's compared to about 37% regionally and about 40% nationally. Boyce said he hopes a new program will help improve that statistic. The state's two-year colleges and public universities are working together to identify people who have some college credits and are closer to a degree than they realize. About 200 people have already received degrees through the Complete to Compete initiative. Boyce said the program could lead to better paying jobs and an improved economic outlook for Mississippi. The Board of Supervisors has approved an $80,000 plan to expand the Lee County Tax Collector's office. The office is located on the first floor of the Lee County Courthouse. Officials hope the expansion will reduce the waiting times for local residents conducting business with the tax collector's office. Supervisors unanimously approved the $80,000 in funding on Monday. The plan is more modest than the one that Lee County Tax Collector Leroy Belk requested in October. That one called for the county to spend $140,000 to add 4 new clerks, plus $34,000 to reconfigure the space. Monday's plan will allow $60,000 to hire 2 new clerks. The other $20,000 will be directed toward one-time renovations. The plan will require Lee County Emergency Management Director Lee Bowdry to relocate his offices, likely to the Lee County Justice Center. And in sports, 4 Ole Miss players and 3 Mississippi State players were selected to the Associated Press All-SEC teams. Those selections were announced on Monday. Mississippi State defensive end Montez Sweat and defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons were named to the first team, along with Ole Miss receiver A.J. Brown. Meanwhile, Ole Miss guard Greg Little, defensive end Marquise Haynes, and defensive tackle Breland Speaks were selected to the second team. They are joined by MSU offensive tackle Martinez Rankin. Auburn's Kerryon Johnson was named Offensive Player of the Year, and Georgia's Roquan Smith was Defensive Player of the Year. Georgia's Kirby Smart was named Coach of the Year. Quarterbacks Jake Fromm of Georgia and Jarrett Stidham of Auburn were named Newcomers of the Year. And that does it for Newsbreak on this Tuesday. Don't forget that this show is just one of the many online offerings courtesy of the Daily Journal that gets you your news off the page and on the go. Check out the Capitol View webcast with Daily Journal Capitol Bureau Chief Bobby Harrison providing analysis on the latest in state politics. Look for a new episode this afternoon at 2 at djournal.com. You can also catch the replay on our website or on our Facebook page. And each story discussed on Newsbreak can be found in your daily journal or online at thejournal.com, where you can also catch a new episode of Newsbreak each weekday morning at 7 a.m. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Kiefer. Have a great Tuesday.